Perfect.
And also tell us, where is this mural that you're preparing this for?
So the mural is in southeast Portland in a close in-town neighborhood. It is on the back wall of a large commercial building, and the wall is 10 by 18 feet. I have never, ever worked on anything that large. Maybe the biggest painting I've ever made was 6 foot. So it's quite a jump, and I am not stenciling it out, I'm not gridding it out, I'm freehanding it, because that's how I work, and that's just what I want to do. I want to work really large. So going today to pick up my rollers and the paint and all the really big tools, it's super exciting. And the mural is a part of this project that's organized by a local nonprofit that supports street artists. And all people painting their murals on this wall are female identifying, because they want to introduce more underrepresented people of color, and also females are not exactly most commonly, making murals around town. So these are my grannies. I also think that there's not enough representation of different aspects of femininity or being a female. We are inundated with images of perfectly smooth and gorgeous and photoshopped, and the less than 1% of the humanity that looks that way. And we also never see images of age. We are always told to age gracefully, and I really want to go counter to those ideas and present strength and resilience and dignity of people of all ages. And for me, because I am from Ukraine, I use images from there, and they're more as archetypes of these ideas of resilience and strength that is not all focused on just not going with the Western standard and ideal of what it is and how you should be, that prescriptive femininity that, again, we're all inundated with. And so this is exactly what the mural is going to look like. I plan on being very painterly, very loose, just the way that I paint. And I thought that I would show you guys also paintings that served as inspiration for this idea of the mural, because I was approached about it. I had a very short period of time for deciding what I'm going to paint. It was less than a month from start to finish of learning about the project. So this is one of them. Let me know if you can see well, or if you want me to zoom in. I know it's not close.
That's clear. And Carol's saying that loves the concept of strong, resilient women, and Jill remembers some of those from your Instagram, I guess, right?
For the most, I would imagine so, because for the most part, I paint. This is my subject matter, or at least recently, I've been really focused on images of older women from back home.
So tell me about that. This is like a study, or is that for the mural, or?
These are just examples of what I've been working on in the time prior to creating the mural design. They are not studies, they're finished paintings, but they've served as a springboard, an inspiration, so to speak, for what I can realize on the larger surface. And I've even come up, I normally really struggle with titles for works. Titles for exhibitions are easier for me, and I realized that the name of this series will be The Real Strong and Silent Types, because there's definitely a culture of struggle and perseverance, in Eastern Europe and former Soviet spaces that I come from, but there's not a lot of acknowledging of the struggle or suffering. So these are the real strong and silent types. Please let me know if I'm going too fast with the
No, that's good. Everything's looking really good. And what would you like to do next with these? You're working on the mural, but what else do you want to see happen?
I want to paint a lot of walls in Portland. I just really hope that I have some physical challenges that I hope I will not keep me from being able to paint on a large scale. I'm not interested in, 40-foot, 70-foot tall walls, but something that's a little, like the one that I'm making right now, 10 by 18 seems manageable. And I really would love to put more representations of people who are older, people who are maybe differently abled, people who are from different ethnic cultural backgrounds around Portland. Portland is a very homogenous, very white society, and I feel like there's also the mural culture is very strong here, but it has a very specific look and a very specific aesthetic. It's very graphic design and cartoon illustration based, and I would really like to bring a very painterly approach to mural making. This is one of my favorite ones. I often have people come over to my studio and paint with me, and I have a friend who's really funny, and he called her Squish Face. I like Squish Face. She's funny. And I'm sure you can tell there is a theme. Normally these figures are in some sort of semi-abstracted open field environment. I use reference photos that are found, or some of them are mine, but I always cut out the figures and I place them in a different background, maybe multiples. I really change the photo references, and I think about it as this is something that I still have to kind of work on conceptually, what it exactly represents, because I don't start with a concept. I paint first, and I'm very intuitive, and then I ponder and decide what is it that's really going on. I think partially it's kind of, I'm a displaced person, I'm an immigrant, I have changed culture, so it's still me who has connection to my ancestry that is represented by these women, yet I'm in a very different milieu here in the United States. But also there's something about the open field that, the immediate reaction is like, oh, it's the open field of possibility. But to me, I also think about that Kerouac quote from the On the Road, that there was nowhere to go but everywhere. And that can actually be the multiplicity of choice, especially for people who come from a very limited background, such as, militaristic state of Soviet Union. It can be a really overwhelming, an existential crisis-inducing thing to have this multiplicity of opportunity and everything being open and available. So those are some of the thoughts.
That's great. Great studio visit, Tatyana.